We have a bunch of speakers today. I want to introduce a friend of Frank's, a friend of this movement. Works for many charitable organizations out on Long Island. David Drew, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been a union member for over 20 years. Mr. Frank Spatorno invited me to speak today. We met due to his support of some of my many charitable events I put on. I'm from Long Island, like he said, and I support many local and national charities. Frank Spatorno has contributed to and promoted some of my events. Events which include benefits for childhood cancer, breast cancer, leukemia, and many veterans causes. We need to bring our jobs home. Just a little background. My father's name was David Patrick Drew. He was a construction worker right here in New York City for over 40 years. He was a proud member of the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 15. He, along with other construction workers, plus electricians, plumbers, steam fitters, tin knockers, masons, carpenters, teamsters, and more, built this city. My dad was a decorated World War II veteran. He was a grandson of immigrants who came to America in search of a dream. They found that dream. Their combination of hard work and good jobs allowed them to share that dream and pass it along to their children. When my father came home from the war, he had a job through his union. He was able to buy a house on Long Island and raise a family. In post-war America, we were committed to building our cities, roads, bridges, tunnel ports, and more through a commitment from the U.S. government. This was accomplished by union workers earning fair wages. My dad was not only able to buy a home and support his family, but send his 3 kids to college. Allison Drew graduated from Baruch College, right over there on Lexington, about 5 years ago. She was optimistic at the hope of finding meaningful employment here, but unable to find a decent job in New York, she worked hard anyway. She was a waitress, a clerk, dog walker, an unpaid intern for several companies. Last year, she moved to Seattle. Why must our educated young people move away from New York to find a good job? Americans have the skills, America has the talented people, America has the ability, and Americans have the drive. All we need are the jobs. We need to rebuild our roads, bridges, tunnels, railways, airports, and more. We need the government to make it advantageous for companies to provide jobs for our young people. Not more assistance programs, foreign spending, wrongful wars, or aid to those who hate us. We need our government and our elected officials to remember that they work for us. They have been failing for a long time now. My mother was a child of immigrants too. She had a difficult childhood during the Depression. Her parents worked hard to get ahead. She was always optimistic. She gave me my desire to help those less fortunate. She would often say, "There but for the grace of God go I." This desire to help others is intrinsic to the American dream. I watched as firefighters, rescue workers, medical professionals rushed to Oklahoma City after the bombing there. I saw license plates on cars and trucks from every state right here in New York after 9/11. I saw Americans flock to New Orleans to help during Katrina. I saw firsthand the same thing on Long Island in the wake of Hurricane Sandy. American workers are the first to pitch in and help during hard times, both here and all around the world. We need our government to help us now. True, hard-working Americans need real jobs. No one is looking for a handout. We are looking for a hand up. Hard work is what America does best. Should we really be building schools in the Middle East when our schools are crumbling here? Should American companies get a tax break when they send good manufacturing jobs to Asia or South or Central America? We need to bring our jobs home now. We are the greatest, most charitable, strongest, richest, freest nation in the history of humanity. Perhaps, just perhaps, it is time to look inward, towards our young people, and show them that the American dream is still alive. Thank you all. Thank you, Dan Murphy. Thank you, Mr. Frank Spatorno. And thank you, New York. Bring our jobs home.org.